The BRICS dating markets. Is there any value for dating in the BRICS organization? Well, today we're going to discuss. Welcome to Continental Insider, the offshore consulting service for expats, digital nomads, entrepreneurs, investors, and related internationals with a boots-on-the-ground approach. For more information, please check out continentalinsider.com. Today we are talking about BRICS, this particular organization that is made by several countries, many important countries on emerging markets that they want to establish a multipolar world. And of course, there is a lot of discussion about BRICS, also if they will be implementing a BRICS currency that will overthrow the USD as the de facto currency reserve of the world and the most used currency in the world. Well, we are not going to go into the details of currencies today. Today, we are talking about dating markets, how the BRICS markets fare in the worldwide dating dynamics, and if there is a possibility of seeing a multipolar dating world that actually I see that happening right now. Is happening as we speak on the past few years. So today we are going to analyze the value of the BRICS nations for dating. And we are going to be focusing only on the original members: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So let's start. So number one, we have Brazil. Brazil of its own has arguably the best dating market in Latin America. Many people will say it's Colombia. Some people might mention another country. Some people will say Argentina, but actually, I think honestly, it's Brazil and has all of the makings of a good dating market. First, demographics. Demographics are destiny, and Brazil has actually good demographics. Also, Brazil is a melting pot, so Brazil has a bunch of options for dating. I mean, if you like dating Caucasian women or Afro-descendant women or Asian women or, mixed race women and everything in between, Brazil has you covered. Also, the dynamics, the social dynamics in Brazil are very positive for a good dating market. People in Brazil are cool. I love Brazil. I love Brazilian people, very good people, very nice people. And by the way, I never met a Brazilian that I don't like hang out with. Usually very polite, very respectful people. The women are kind of the same. So it's a very cool place to visit, hang out, of course, know what you're doing. And the dynamics are positive. So also, there is a socio-economical theme when you are dating, because usually you want to be, it's like the art of war, that you want the higher ground. Usually that's what happens. So if you have that higher ground, you're going to have a better dating experience. And of course, Brazil is huge, almost like a continent, and are several major cities. So each particular city, each particular region has a dynamic of its own. I mean, we can speak the whole day the dating dynamics of each region in Brazil. And for instance, I've never been in each region, only a handful, the most important ones, let's say on population and GDP, but I mean, that's for another day. Anyways, Brazil, I mean, for dating, very cool place. Also, the female beauty over there is the level is very good. Not necessarily the best, and yet again, changes depending on the region, but demographics, cultural, economics, everything plays out for Brazil as a great dating market. Now let's go with Mother Russia. Russia, if Brazil is arguably the best dating market in Latin America, Russia could be the best dating market in the world. Yeah, that good it is. And yeah, it's awesome. Honestly, dating, of course, it could be challenging as well, depending on cultural differences. So Russia for dating, yeah, the demographics are good for that. Yeah, of course, depends also on the age cohort that you are dating. But the Russian ladies are that they are like that. They are ladies, and also regarding being more traditional, but it's not as traditional as advertised in several specific platforms. But I mean, of course, has a lot of value, the Russian dating market. And of course, also Russia is a huge country and there are regional difference. Basically, the rule of thumb is Moscow and St. Petersburg have a different dynamic compared to the rest of Russia. And basically, you have a geographical barrier that is the Urals Mountains, that on one side of the mountains, the dynamics are different compared to the other side of the mountains. That you have basically every city in Siberia, Vladivostok, places like that. Dating Russians is cool actually, but of course depends. You need to manage some cultural differences, so you need boots on the ground, and also depends how good can you accommodate your local culture compared to the Russian culture and create good synergy. So in that regard, Russia, yeah, maybe the best dating market in the world. Now, the issue is, of course, that the political issues, the geopolitical issues. So if you are a Western citizen going to Russia, it's more complicated. It's more complicated, and also the logistical issues. Russia is very remote, and also we have, the elephant on the room, the operation going on. So I don't wanna get into that. This is just about dating today. But yeah, Russia arguably is actually those frictions that you see in Russia is one of the reasons why you might consider Mother Russia as the best dating market in the world. Now let's go with India. India, I don't have that much experience with India. Well, I've never been in India. I just, I know people from India, of course, the most populated country in the world. Now, the demographics are good regarding age cohorts, and the demographics pyramid overall is very good. And many people are bullish, investors and related, are very bullish on India regarding macroeconomics because the demographics are actually poised for that. But the main issue with India, of course, the logistics is a very remote place if you live in the West. And also, they have a particular cultural dynamic regarding this caste system. I'm going to try to put a chart here in order to see it. So depends on that. Also, if you come from the West, you have apparently an advantage. So there is a particular dynamic regarding socioeconomic status that is different from Latin America, but is very well ingrained. So you have to consider that. Also regarding physique, well, depends. It's mostly a niche market. I mean, not my particular cup of tea. Of course, I've seen a bunch of beautiful Hindu women. Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone in India watching this. But the issue will be, of course, if that's your market, you need to accommodate your culture and so on. And also, I have an acquaintance, a beautiful Venezuelan woman that she married a guy from India. They seem very happy. But anyways, it will depend. I mean, it's not for everyone dating in India, dating Hindu females. The ones that I met are very cool. You have to work on certain issues. But I will say India, I mean, is an interesting market, and I'll just leave it like that. So it's up to you. Now let's go with China. China, of course, the second largest economy in the world. And the Chinese market is very particular because something about Chinese culture is that people are very collectivist, family oriented. They are not as individualist. And of course, that's good for looking for a partner on that regard. Good news. But of course, there are some cultural issues and frictions that you need to overcome if you come from the West in order to be successful dating on the long term Chinese women that actually are kind of cute. I mean, I'm not particularly an Asian guy, but I know some of you like Asian women, so it's a particular preference. So in that regard, China is, an interesting market. However, the main issue with the Chinese market is demographics. Let's see here the demographics pyramid of China. China is a country with a low fertility rate and is a country with more elder people than younger people. So that screws up the dynamic a lot for a macro dating market, but still interesting. Now, the other issue regarding demographics is a very big gender imbalance, one of the biggest in the world. We can see here a chart regarding that. And also they used to have a particular one-child policy in China, so it was illegal to have a second child. Then they allowed for legally having a second child. Apparently, you can have a third child, and at the very least, I know that you have to pay something extra over there, so I'm not an expert on that regard, but that screw up during those years when, the one-child policy was implemented. That screw up the demographics and also the dynamics because of these demographics. Nevertheless, Chinese culture, I love Chinese culture, and it's a very interesting place. It's a very enigmatic, interesting place regarding economics, social issues, culture, and so on. Interesting market. Maybe it's not gonna be for you, but I'm not saying not at all. It's a bad market, but a lot of frictions that you will have to navigate in order to be, successful dating in China. And lastly, we have South Africa. South Africa is kind of like the wild card of BRICS. And regarding dating markets, is not gonna be the exception. Now, South Africa, I'm gonna be completely honest, zero experience regarding South Africa and dating. So on this particular case, I want to give it up to you. So if you have any experience of this particular market, if you are from there, you live there, you visited a lot, or you know a bunch of people from South Africa, please leave it on the comments below. I want to, I'm genuinely curious about it. But this is just the information that I have, is that you have first a very particular demographics over there. You have a majority of individuals that first you have the Afro ethnicity. Most of the people in South Africa, they have an African ethnicity. And also you have the European descendants that are South Africans as well. So I don't know how the dynamics work over there regarding, they mingle with each other, they date amongst each other, they just date separately. There is some sort of, mixing, dating amongst them. At least some cohort of them, of each other. I don't know exactly how it works. I don't know how it works regarding internationals visiting, living, dating in South Africa. Honestly, I don't have the numbers. So for me, it's an enigma. I don't know how good or how bad is South Africa regarding dating. And I never been in South Africa, but actually I have a particular I have a particular on my travel bucket list is visiting Cape Town. That looks beautiful, a beautiful city from outside looking in. Never been, like I mentioned. But anyways, for me, it's honestly a complete enigma. I did a little bit of research, didn't get that much. So, but I want to mention it because for me, it's a wild card. I don't know. It could be good, could be bad. I think it's a good component of BRICS, regarding geopolitics, but on dating, I don't know, honestly. And there you have it. BRICS dating markets analyzed. I think it's the only content that you're going to find on this particular issue. Very interesting places, very enigmatic places that at the same time could be also very interesting regarding dating. Well, I can say Brazil and Russia are great. And India, China is up to you. And like I said previously, it's an enigma, South Africa for me. So please leave it in the comments below. What is your favorite market from this cohort of countries? Thank you for watching Continental Insider. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on social media. And if you want to work with us, continentalinsider.com. Thanks again, and have a nice day.